All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Dish and Deeper Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. This one's coming out late. We had to make I'd say emergency trip to Marquette, but we made a trip to Marquette. Wanted to get out of the house. We've been cooped up for the last few weeks. Excuse me. Cooped up for the last few weeks, so we decided to spend all day Sunday in Marquette, having some fun there. It was good times actually. It was well deserved, well worth it. Like I said, good times had by all. But we left super early, and then we didn't get back until very, very late. So I didn't have a chance to shoot a video. Monday, Tuesday rolled around. Still super busy. Technically still super busy today on Wednesday, but I had to get this out. Just had to do it. So what are we smoking? What are we drinking? From Blackbird, again, my favorite cigar out there. Jackadoo. Good cigar. I love the Blackbird cigars. Really are just very, very tasty, very, very good. I really love them. For the drink tonight, Upper Hand Brewery has made it back on the list with Paddle Tail. Fun little play on words. I think this is part of their boat series. I don't know for sure. This is one of their new ones. Just came out, just released. I've actually been looking for this one and a few of the others from the boat series. One of the raspberry ones, I forget the name of it right now. If I remember, I'll try to put the name up on the screen. I'll probably forget though. But a light lager. I can do with a lager right now. And as I look down, apparently, Becky from Spy Families also came to join us. I'm guessing my kids must have been on their backpack or fell off their backpack or something. So I guess Becky is going to join us from Spy Family. So, as the video implies, let's talk about having kids. Oh, that's good. Well done, Upper Hand. That Paddle Tail is delicious. I really like that. That's a nice light lager. Let's talk about kids. Can you afford to have a child? Or can you afford not to have a child? Good question. All great questions. So, before I get too deep in this marriage advice, let me preface by yes, I do understand some people cannot conceive. And as I've talked about in other videos, my heart really does go out for you. That is, if you actually wanted a child but can't have one, that's horrible. That's rough. I feel for you a lot. I'm sorry that you're in that predicament. But this is talking more about people who are more than capable of having a child but choose not to. For a litany of bad reasons, in my opinion. So you know my background with children. As you all should know, if you're long-time viewers of this, if you're new here, welcome. Check out the other marriage videos. I have 7 children, 7 biological children. We also, from time to time, will take in exchange students. We currently have an exchange student right now from Finland. So we definitely enjoy having kids. So first off, we'll go all the way back to the beginning. So when we were dating, getting married, we said, you know what, we do want children. We wanted kids. It really wasn't a question. Like there wasn't much debate or discussion at all. We just knew we were going to have kids. So we get married. Just after our honeymoon, we get talking, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to use protection? We weren't really about birth control, doing chemical birth control. But, you know, even though we're Catholic, there is a chance that, yes, we do engage in some barrier-type birth control. But we just got talking, and one homeschooling mama wasn't even sure she could have kids. She had some medical stuff going on, so we didn't know if it was possible. And we decided we weren't going to try and have them, but we weren't going to actively not try to have a kid. Well, about 4 months after getting married, we find out we're pregnant with our first child. And Vashman is born. After Vashman, we did want to have another child quite quickly. We felt that having children closer together would be more beneficial. So they have almost built-in friends. They don't have these huge gaps like are between both me and homeschooling mama have huge gaps between us with our siblings, and it causes a lot of tension. One thing led to another, to another, to another. We now have 7 kids, plus we take and exchange kids. Well, I brought up this video, and it was on the list talking about children, having children, but it got moved up a little bit because I'm seeing a lot of news articles talking about how people just can't have kids because they don't have the money. The timing's not right. They wanted to advance their career, yada, 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 yada. And, you know, I've been watching videos both ways. Those who say you shouldn't have kids or you should wait until you're almost 40 before you have them. And other ones who say have them early and often. Well, here's my 2 cents. First off, I do fall into more of the early and often. Homeschooling mama she actually had employment before I did. She was working at a women's shelter where she was moving up quite rapidly in the ranks. She was going to be probably into a shift supervisor soon and then going into possibly assistant manager to manager. And initially, I was working more part-time. Now, mind you, hers was an entry-level position. Mine was a part-time position. And then we found out we got pregnant. Now, she kept working for a little bit. But a couple of things happened. One, some of the, should we say, aggressors would stalk out, would camp out in the parking lot of this women's shelter. The women's shelter was very well known. Everyone knew where it was. So these random men would camp out trying to see if they could find their wife or their girlfriend. So more often than not, cops had to be called. And then more often than not, I would be sitting in the parking lot too with a loaded gun just in case one of them wanted to cause trouble while homeschooling mom was getting off work. We had a tough choice to make. That was not safe for her to be in, especially pregnant. I had heard of too many horror stories of pregnant women who get assaulted and have a miscarriage, who get beat up, punched in a car accident, whatever. So we sat down and had a long conversation. And we decided to sacrifice her well-paying job for my part-time job. I was going to sign up for more hours. I was going to try and find additional part-time work because I really wanted her to be away from that job, and I wanted her to ultimately be home with my son. I wanted her to be a stay-at-home mom, and she also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She wanted to be able to raise our child and have the freedom to focus in on that. So, was it rough? Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. But the thing that a lot of these videos aren't talking about is these people who are like, well, you got to have enough money first. You really don't. First off, we have a lot of social safety nets. Did we eat a lot of white soup because we're getting, 8 gallons of milk a month when homeschooling mama was pregnant? Yeah. We had white soups. We made homemade cream cheeses and yogurts. We had creamed everything. Creamed turkey, creamed chicken, shit on a shingle. The list goes on and on. We made a lot of sacrifices to make sure that homeschooling mama could stay home from work and that our child would have what it needs. Now, were we able to get the biggest and best designer crib? No. Were we able to get the coolest and most epic toy? We did splurge and get one epic toy. I'll post a picture. I'll try to post a picture there. The dinosaur toy. The kids kind of think it's really stupid. It is stupid, but at the time, that sucker I think cost $50 or $70. $70 reminds me for something. It sticks in my head. And I scrimped and saved and bought it for my son. Now thinking about that, I mean that's not really that much money, all things considered, to what else you could buy or do. But we kept it really basic. I was drinking almost no alcohol, smoking no cigars, wasn't going to the bar, wasn't going out to movies. Used my clothes up until they had huge holes in them, and I was fine with that. I was fine with making those sacrifices for my child and for my wife. Is it easy? No. Is it comfortable? No. But I do firmly believe that you can have a child on any income. And I think it is wrong to wait. One, it's not easy. It is not easy to have a child in your later life. I can attest to that now. Being 40 years old and having a 4-month or 6-month-old, that is rough. That's tough. I remember when I was 22 when Vashman was born. Getting up late, or getting up early, getting up in the middle of the night, staying up late, simple. Running around, doing pretend and having tons of energy, and raising kids when I was younger, so easy. Now that I'm 40 years old and I have a newborn, it's tough. And it's not fair. I could not imagine if little baby boy was my first child at 40. Like some people I know are having kids in their 40s. That's not fair to the kid. And that's not fair to you. Hold on. Sorry about that. Something was making a weird noise. But yeah, it's not fair to you either. If you're focusing on your career and whatnot, and all of a sudden now you're going to pivot to taking care of a kid. One, as you get older, you're less fun. As you get deeper into these careers that you're chasing, you also become less fun. Your mind, instead of being filled with Blue's Clues and Bluey and Sesame Street, your brain will be filled with analytical formulas and management structures, which a kid doesn't need. They need someone who's younger, who almost remembers what it's like to be a child. Now, luckily, I can say that since I've had so many kids throughout my life, I feel like I've kind of kept up with the kids' trendy stuff. But I was poor when we had our first child. And I'm not going to say I'm rich when I have this kid, but I make a lot more money than I made back then, even adjusted for inflation. And I'm not happier now that I have more money and having a child. I'm not unhappy, mind you. It's not like it's a bad thing that I have some money that I can utilize and use. But I wasn't unhappy before. My oldest son, I think, turned out pretty good. I think my younger son's going to turn out pretty good. I don't think how much finance is in my wallet affects what type of parent I am. Either you're a good parent or you're not. So questioning if you should have $10,000 in the bank or $30,000 or $40,000, question if you're just a good person and you're going to be a good parent. That should be your guiding star. Don't ask, do I have enough money? Is my career at the point where I can finally raise a kid? Ask, can I raise a kid? Am I good enough? Will I make a good parent? Can I be loving, caring, and supportive? Because if you can't be that stuff, no amount of money in your bank account is going to make that kid grow up to be successful. No amount of money is going to make being a parent easier. It just means you're an asshole and have more money. So I advocate people look at that more. Are you able to be a good parent? If you are, great. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you're going to be a good parent. There's some videos coming up where I'm going to talk about being a parent and how to be a good parent. From my almost 19 years of experience being a parent. But it's not about the money. Don't let that be a determining factor for you have kids. That stuff really does work itself out. The question is, can you be a good person and can you be a good parent? If you can be a good parent, money doesn't matter. There's enough social support programs and ways you can make tough decisions and ways you can make a dollar stretch that little bit further. Having a lot of money doesn't make you a good parent. Being a good person, that goes a whole hell of a lot further. Well, anyway, folks, I'm going to go enjoy my cigar, enjoy my beer, and then go frantically try to post this video. Yeah, don't wait. Don't wait to have kids. You'll never have enough money. The only thing you should wait on is whether or not you're a good person. If you're a good person, we need more of you having kids out there. If you're an asshole, yeah, you can wait. Or consider not spreading on that asshole gene. Your call. Anyway, folks, hope you're having a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one.